Hi YouTube, it's the Sensuous Cook Shermeen. I'm just getting back from the store, and guess what we're going to do? We're going to cook for Soulful Sunday. Today we are going to have some candied yams, baked chicken and onions. We're going to have some green beans with red potatoes, onions, and smoked turkey. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to cook and we're going to do it our way. I hope you're ready because I am, so let's go. Okay guys, we're going to start with 3 cups of string beans fresh, and we're going to wash them and get all that grit and dirt off of them just to make sure they're good and clean. I like to cut the tips and the stems off mine. You can pick yours off however you like. I just like to cut mine. It's just a little easier for me. I'm going to use a smoked turkey leg, and well, that's a wing. And I'm going to cut the ends off of these, as I said, and toss those. As you see, it has that stem on it. And I'm going to cut the ones that are too long in half. So you can do whatever you like, leave them long or cut them in half. But for me, I like them in half when they're just way too long. And so we're going to continue to cut all of these off. And next we're going to use 6 small red potatoes. Wash those as well, getting all the stems off of those and all the dirt. And we're going to get ready to cut these. I cut mine into 4s. You can cut yours into 2s or smaller, however you like. And make sure if you see any of the dark spots, cut those off as well, because they're just kind of the potato, little rotten areas of the potato. So cut those off and go ahead and get all your potatoes cut up. I like to cut mine, like I said, in 4s. So some people like smaller potatoes, they cook faster, and some people like bigger cubes. So you do whatever you like the best. And next, I'm going to get ready to add all of these things to my casserole dish. I'm going to add them to my casserole dish, and we're going to use a crock pot to cook these shortly. Next is 2 cups of chicken broth and 1 cup of water. And just pour it throughout, and we're getting it all over all of the beans, the potatoes, and the turkey. And then next, it's a 1/2 cup of olive oil, just to make sure everything sticks really, really good. And we're going to use a tablespoon of butter, and then a handful of minced garlic. Next, I have 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and just sprinkle it throughout. And we're going to mix this on all of them. If you like cayenne, add the tablespoon. If not, then add half, or just don't add it at all if you don't like the little spice. So mix this up really, really good, getting it throughout all of the vegetables, the potatoes, the smoked turkey. And we're going to cook for 3 hours in our crock pot. And look at what we have, guys. Okay, next we're going to use our sweet potatoes. We're going to wash those really well. And I'm using 3 large sweet potatoes. Wash them the same. Get all the stems off. Get them nice and clean. And we're going to use this peeler to peel all of the skin off. So make sure you peel the skin off and get them nice and clean and ready to cut. So just peel, and cut the ends off as well. Those tend to have those hard edges at the bottom. So I cut those ends off of my sweet potatoes. So just make sure you get them pretty clean and try to get all of the skin off so you can have some nice, fresh, clean sweet potatoes, guys. So once you've getting those all peeled, we're going to make sure we rinse them as well to get all that excess skin off once we get all the peelings off. Because you see, doing all this shaving leaves a little additional potato skin. So we just want to make sure we get them good and clean so we can have some nice sweet potatoes. And next, I'm going to start to cut since I've gotten them washed. And I'm going to cut them probably in about 1/2 inch size. They're about 1/2 inch. So just go ahead and slice them all. You know, sweet potatoes can be a little hard. So I've noticed that if I soak them in water, they're easier to cut. So once I clean and peel them, I just put them back in the bowl and just let them soak a little bit. So now I have them all cut, and now I'm getting ready to add them to my baking pan so we can go ahead and add all of the delicious flavor to them. So this is the baking pan that I'm using, and I'm going to use olive oil to coat the bottom so no sweet potatoes will stick. So just use a little bit, like a half a cup or a little less, and just go ahead and kind of get all your potatoes and rub the oils throughout all of the sweet potatoes. So fill it up, and now I'm going to add a half a cup of brown sugar and sprinkle that throughout your sweet potatoes, and also taking your hand to mix it up in there as well. We want this sugar to just seep through all of our sticky sweet potatoes. That's what we want. Sweet, sticky potatoes, sweet potatoes. So mix it up really, really well, and just kind of rub all the oil and the brown sugar into the sweet potatoes. And so next I'm going to use a half a cup of water, just a little bit of water, and honey, half a cup of honey. So pour that in, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to just mix everything up really good so we can get honey, and cinnamon sugar is the next thing that I'm adding. And then I use a pinch of nutmeg. So with the cinnamon sugar, just sprinkle it. You don't have to use a whole bunch because it has sugar already in it with brown sugar. And then a sprinkle of nutmeg. So just sprinkle those both on there to coat the top, and then just mix them throughout the rest of the potatoes. Since you already have sugar, you don't want to just make them way too sweet. So go ahead and just mix it all up and get out your nutmeg and brown sugar and cinnamon sugar throughout your potatoes. And you're going to set your oven to 400 and add a tablespoon of butter. And we're going to bake for an hour and 20 minutes. And look at what we get. Amazing sweet potatoes, guys. Love them. These are nice. And then I add a drizzle of honey. They're nice and sweet and not too sweet. So these are amazing. So if you like these, go ahead and make them. If you want to make them a little sweeter next time, go for it. But these are perfect. So next, I'm starting with some chicken thighs, chicken legs, and split chicken breast. I used half a cup of olive oil, so all of my seasonings will stick great on my chicken. And I have a big mixing bowl. So I'm going to mix the olive oil all over the chicken. So next, when we get ready to add our seasonings, it sticks really good since we have the olive oil there. Next, I have a tablespoon of smoked paprika, cumin, nature seasoning, adobo, and salt and pepper. And I mix it all in the bowl and sprinkle it all over my chicken. And I'm going to get it just throughout so it can make sure it coats the bottom as well. Again, that was a tablespoon of smoked paprika, cumin, nature seasoning, adobo, salt, and pepper. And just get it all over your chicken. And just like all inside your chicken. So I like flavor. I am a flavor person, and we now have amazingly flavored chicken, guys. Once you taste this, you're gonna love it. Use about 2 tablespoons of oil to coat your pan, and just make sure you coat your pan really well so your chicken won't stick. We don't want chicken stuck to the bottom of our baking dish. So get it all coated, and we're going to now add our seasoning, additional seasoning, which is the salt-free seasoning, and just sprinkle that on top. Just get it all over the top. It's salt-free, so you're fine. And we're going to now add some parsley for color. We want a little bit of pop of color on there. So add you the salt-free, and then sprinkle your parsley on the top of it as well. Okay, our chicken looks lovely and is ready to be cooked after we add the rest of the parsley. And look at this. And next we're going to add our onion. So I have about 3 slices of yellow onion, and I chopped into pretty large pieces. You can use whatever onion you like. I love them all. So on this particular cooking edition, I used yellow. So you guys can use white. I wouldn't use red because the color tends to fade, but you can use the white onion or the yellow onion or whichever onions you like. So just make sure you just coat your chicken and put it under the chicken and cover the chicken, because we're going to bake in the oven on 400 for 2 hours. And this is the end result of what you get, guys. Look at this amazing chicken. Oh, I cannot wait to eat this. But it smells and looks awesome. So follow the directions and you'll get the same results. Next, we are going to make our cauliflower mac and cheese. And this is amazing, guys. I use a head of cauliflower washed and rinsed really good, and I chop it into cubes, kind of like a noodle size. That's my rule of thumb. I chop it into noodle size, and then I'm going to put it in a pot. And I put it in the pot, and I'm just adding maybe like a third or a little bit less of water just to give it a steam, guys, because cauliflower gets watery, so do not add too much water. And just pour in a little bit of olive oil just to make sure it does not stick. You'll know when this is ready once you're cooking it, because it turns more of an off-white. So sprinkle in your salt and pepper. I sprinkle about 2 shakes or 3 shakes of salt, and then as much pepper as you like, because of course we love pepper, some of us anyway. And so you just sprinkle that in, and then we're going to cook on a medium to low heat and just stir it throughout and get all of the flavor and the pepper and the salt in there. And make sure you don't overcook it, because you don't want mushy cauliflower. So you'll know because it turns a little bit like off-white. So now we have 2 cups of milk. We have half a block, of Colby Jack, half a block of sharp cheddar, and we're going to cut this into small cubes. And then we have probably about 3 to 4 inches of our Velveeta soft cheese. And then we have our monster cheese. I have about 2 slices. I used to slice, and the Havarti cheese. And you cut that into little cubes as well. Okay, I'm going to add half of this cheese to my sauce, well, my milk, to create the sauce, and save the other half, and 3 eggs beat. And we're going to strain, now that our cauliflower is ready, we're going to strain that and get all that excess water off. And we're ready now in the baking pan to go ahead and add our extra cheese, the remaining cheese, so we can get this to baking. So make sure you strain all that additional juice off. And so mix in your additional cheese and just kind of put it all over so we can just melt as we bake. So add all of that and mix it in. And then next we're going to pour on our cheese sauce that we created. So pour that in and mix that thoroughly, getting all your cheeses all over so we can get a good, nice melt and a good baked cauliflower mac and cheese. It's so good, guys. So next we're going to add a half a tablespoon of butter. Mix that throughout. I like to let this cool once I mix it before I add my eggs. So once it's cool for about 15 minutes, mix in your 3 beat eggs so it won't turn into a heavy white egg. So mix that in thoroughly, and then we're going to coat this. And we're going to coat with 8 ounces of Colby Jack cheese, or the cheese of your choice, and coat it all over just to make sure we get a good cheesy macaroni, because I love a good cheesy macaroni. So make sure you just sprinkle and cover it, just kind of like covering all where you see the wetness on the mac and cheese. Cover it, cover it, cover it. And then actually after we do this, we're going to do what? Add our sprinkle of parsley, guys. You know I love my color pop. So here's our sprinkle of parsley. And once we do this, we're getting ready to bake. We're going to bake this for 20 minutes on 400. And here is the finished product, guys. Look at this amazing cauliflower mac and cheese. I am so excited because it's so good, guys. I cannot wait for you to taste this. So let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes before you bite in, because it's so hot. Now here we go. Look at this loveliness. Look at all this cheese, honey. I just love it. This is so amazing. And I was not a cauliflower fan until I started making this cauliflower mac and cheese. Once you make it, you'll understand, because there's nothing like a cauliflower mac and cheese. Love my regular mac and cheese, but I have absolutely become a fan. And it's also okay for people who don't like a lot of carbs or diabetics and things like that. So look at it. Oh my gosh. That is so good. Do know today's cooking was not for the quick cook, for the air fried cook. This is the old fashioned, take your time, start in the morning or afternoon cooking for your traditional Sunday. So make sure when you make a meal like this, you have plenty of time to spare. So hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe to the video and comment. Thanks. Happy Sunday.